Make sure everything's going correctly because last time it did not, and it seems like this time it might also be having the same issue. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now we're up. We're up. It just takes a second. I'm using Restream, and sometimes it's a little slow when I hit connect. So welcome in, everybody. I am thrilled to chat with you, and I'm also really excited to talk about the big announcement. It kind of happened last week, so this might be old news to you, but I am super excited to chat with y'all about the upcoming VR headset that's coming out very shortly. Actually, I'm surprised they're not hyping this up more. I wonder if it's because they're not quite done with it yet or something of that nature. So I just kind of wanted to chat with y'all about the new VR headset. And what we know is last week, I forget what day it was, um, Mark Zuckerberg was on a Spotify podcast with Joe Rogan, and they talked about when the release date was. I'm going to pop out my chat because the softwares that I'm using are not being cooperative. There we go. Okay, now I can see what y'all are saying. Much better. Hello, hello, everybody. Before we jump too deep into it, the course is still live. The pre-sale that you can jump into right now, there's a link down in the description. I do need to go ahead and add a link in the chat as well. Get the course today. Bear with me. I've never been good at multitasking. There we go. There we go. So there's a link in the chat. There's a link down in the description. If you would like to jump in the course now, that's kind of what this week's theme is. We are everybody jumping in the course. Lifetime access. There's going to be a ton of modules and lessons and everything. So highly recommend jumping in there. And let's see. Anyway, so let's kind of talk about the new VR headset. So if you are not aware,
Reduced presence platform,
Oculus
a suite of
kind
machine
released
perception.
Hold on, let me figure out this. There we go. Oculus released kind of like a hype video about the their presence system, and let me bring my notes up here just so I don't misrepresent anything. Let's see. There we go. I should have been more prepared. This is very organic. So Oculus has a little hype video there, and so all of this you're seeing in the video right now is just the Quest 2, and what we want to actually see, which they didn't really put much visuals into what the actual headset's going to look like as much. There's a lot of like kind of imagery out online. If you just search Project Cambria, that is the headset we think that is going to be released. There are 4 headsets that Meta's kind of working on. Project Cambria is going to be the most similar to the Quest, and a lot of people out there think that this is the one that is actually going to be released. So in here we don't actually get much of a this is kind of just them talking about their presence system, talking about the pass through, how cool I actually got to play this game. It's like a chess game. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this game is a little chess game, and it's super cool because you set it up and it's on a table in front of you, and it actually uses the table as like its reference point, and it's got some spatial anchors and stuff, and you literally just put your finger on the board and slide it up and let go, and it like moves the chess piece, and then you can have avatars. It's a multiplayer game. You can have avatars sitting across from you, playing a game with you, and it literally looks like they're sitting across from you at the table, which is absolutely incredible. And super cool. You bring my chat back up. I lost it. I stream. What platforms do I stream on? Right now, just YouTube. YouTube's kind of this is where I live. Also, thanks to everybody who has already joined the course. That is super exciting. It's been an overwhelming amount of people who have joined. So I really appreciate you. If you are interested in VR development at all, learning how to make make it and whatnot, jump in the course down below. The pre-sale of the course, it's not done yet. We're all building it together over the next several months. So anyway, this little chess game is actually really cool, and so this video is mainly talking about when they're pass through stuff, and it's really the tech behind the headsets that they're most focused on. Like if you get an iPhone, you are in the Apple ecosystem, and that's very much what Meta is trying to do. You have a whole ecosystem inside of their you buy their hardware and then you get the ecosystem inside of it, and it's what they're calling the presence platform. And so here now they're showing, okay, the pass through right now, if you have a Quest 2 and you've used pass through, it's black and white. But here they're showing the pass through in color, which is going to be game changing. It's going to be absolutely like super super cool, like being able to really that it's like bridging the gap into AR more so, and you'll see a lot more AR games, I think, start coming out um once this new headset gets released, because we're all anticipating that it's going to, so nothing's been confirmed. Let me put a disclaimer there. Nothing's been confirmed about this particular headset that's coming out. But we're all anticipating that it's going to be Project Cambria. We all think it's going to be, what they've kind of hinted at. So let me go through like some of the specs that we think are going to, be there. So it's going to be very similar to the current Meta Quest 2, and I think it's going to have better specs, but it's not quite going to be a Quest 3. I think it's more of going to be like a Meta Quest 2 Pro kind of headset. And it's kind of odd that they haven't released many more visuals or done a lot more demos. It's all like on the tech side. It's not very much on the hardware side, which is interesting. Maybe they're still working out some works. They're not really quite sure what they want it to look like yet, and they're like redesigning some stuff. But we're getting a few months away now. It's like 2 months until October, until the end of October. So we're getting very close, and they haven't released much information yet, which is a little concerning. Maybe they might not be ready yet. It might get pushed if they haven't solid up some stuff at this point. But we think it's going to have color pass through, which is it's going to be the big selling point between the Oculus Quest or the Meta Quest. I always go with Oculus and I always say Facebook, but now everything is Meta. So it's going to be the Meta Quest 2 that is currently in black and white, but now it's going to be color, and that's going to be the big upsell. Now you're going to have a slightly better resolution. So right now the Quest 2 is kind of a 1440p by like 1600 resolution per eye. This new headset will be 2K, so 21, whatever the numbers, the rest of the small numbers on there, but 2100 pixels by 21 ish, 23 probably 100 pixels. So a little bit better resolution. Another cool part is this is going to have eye tracking and face tracking. So their kind of big plan, and this was mentioned, this is what Mark mentioned on the podcast, was that it's a connection thing. So this will be the first time ever you'll be able to make eye contact with people in VR. So right now, if you have a Meta Quest, a Meta avatar, and you're using that in VR, there's like an AI software running, so it kind of guesses at where you're looking, and will move your eyes around accordingly. But it's not actually where you're looking, so it could be wrong. Um, this new one has eye tracking, so you'll be able to move your eyes around, and your avatar in VR will also move your eyes around. And not only that, it has face tracking and mouth tracking, nose, like kind of when you crinkle your face up and move your jaw around, your avatar will mimic that in real life. And so this is really what's going to bring people together. And so this is exactly what Zuckerberg mentioned in the podcast, was that right now if you're on a video call, kind of like we are now, you don't feel like I'm there with you, like you're watching me. Like, and if you were on the screen on a Zoom call with me, you wouldn't really feel like I wouldn't feel like you were here with me, and vice versa. So even like phone calls, video calls, you still get to see the other person's face, but you don't really feel like they're with you. In VR though, it's crazy how much you feel like you're there with the person, hanging out with them in the same space. I've, for one, hung out in the Lone Echo arena, um, like the lobby area, for like hours, and not even played the game, but literally just hung out with like 3 or 4 or 5 people talking, and I'm sure some of y'all can attest to this as well. That just the power of being able to, you know, actually see that kind of stuff. Oh, my chat keeps moving around. I feel like I have multiple chat windows open right now, and everything's just chaotic. Um, and my other chat's not updating correctly. Uh, so yeah, that's do you guys have any questions or thoughts about the new headset? Or if all of y'all are asking questions about the course, I can talk about the course. I was trying not to sales y'all the whole week. We've got one more day, as you can see the countdown timer behind me. There is one day and just under 10 hours left for you to be able to get into the course. Um, and you know, then it's going to be gone for several months. You're not going to be able to buy it until I think the holidays when I'm going to relaunch it. So, um, the logo on my shirt looks like it's upside down version of the logo of Ashton Kutcher's hat. I don't know. I never, surprisingly, I've never actually watched or participated in the Pokemon games. That's immediately unsubscription from like 100 of you. I never really was on the whole Pokemon fad. I am terrible at all the Super Smash Bros games. Those are rough for me. But yeah, that's a fun fact about me. Let's see. I feel like it would drop down unless it wasn't intended to be a new version of the headset. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. The price. Yeah, so I didn't mention the price. The price, what they're anticipating, it is going to be about $1,000. I think anywhere from 800 to $1,000 US is the current price estimation. So it's going to be more powerful processors. It's going to be smaller. So right now, you have your, you know, Quest 2 now, which is on my white shirt. You can't really see it too well, but like that, I think it's going to be like almost half the size, and it'll look a lot more like glasses if you've seen any of like the specs and whatnot. I'm definitely getting one because I'm going to add it to the course as well. That's kind of my thing about the course is it's going to stay updated for new hardware and new software. That, you know, when Unity gets updated, when, you know, these headsets get updated, um, the course is also going to get updated. So there will also be a section about how to, you know, make specifically like color pass through stuff, or I may talk about that and then still, you know, I may teach you how to make it for the new quest, but then have it be able to be added on to this one as well when the time comes. I also think the head strap is I have another I have to steal from my props. So I think the head strap is actually going to be pretty similar to this Oculus Rift that has not been used in a long time. Whole thing is falling off. Um, This was the headset that I started coding VR on, the Oculus Rift, and so I think the head strap is actually going to be very similar. So it's going to kind of be a mix of these two. So it'll be smaller, like this one. It'll be even smaller, kind of widthwise, front to back wise than this. But the head strap is also going to be like this instead of like this, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable to wear. And I think that's kind of the idea. They want you to wear it for as long as possible. The idea is with the pass through that you're able to wear it, you know, just around the house. You can walk around the house, um, have the pass through, whatever, I can go there. And then, you know, write notes to yourself and, you know, be able to interact with your family. And eventually it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller until it's just glasses once the tech gets there. But I think the tech right now is not quite up to that point. Oh, absolutely. Oh, this isn't even business up top. This is like a athletic short, athletic shirt, athletic shorts, and athletic shirt. I'm ready to go on a run. Not really. I haven't gone on a run in like a month. Um, these are exciting times for sure. When will I play Minecraft in VR? I have played Minecraft in VR. You want me to do it live? Is what you're saying? Um, you want me to play? That's a good question, actually. Would you guys be interested in seeing me just do like playthroughs of like games and stuff? Because tutorials are fun and all, and I will consistently keep putting out tutorials. But since I've got the course, I think I'm going to be a little burned out on making tutorials. So for the YouTube channel, I may start looking into doing some of the influencery things where play games live and whatnot. Um, he said it was going to be significantly higher than 800. Uh, yeah, it's a little pricey. It's going to be a expensive headset. You're hyped about the course? Thank you. I am really excited. It's done a whole lot better than I ever anticipated it would do. Um, we have over 200 people signed up for the course. If you're one of those people who has to have other people buy into it before you buy into it, we've had 200 people already sign up. I've had 4 or 5 people I've already given refunds to because they signed up and didn't know it was a pre-sale. So I've provided refunds just like I've been saying. Just like I will continue to say, if you ever want a refund for any reason, you just need $200, and you've 3 years down the line have done all the courses and watched all the videos. You can ask me for a refund. I'll give you a refund. Well, I have separate videos for this headset. Um, I think a lot of the mechanics, so a lot of the software is going to be the similar, probably the same. Like they're probably just going to update the APK to be able to access. I mean, and I don't think there's going to be any extra. So the only two extra things that aren't on the Quest 2 right now that will be on the Project Cambria, the what we're thinking is going to be called the Meta Quest Pro, is going to be the eye tracking and face tracking, which it's really just you're calling out to Oculus's API. So Oculus's SDK will get updated, and then from there I will update the Oculus integration system course that specific module that I have. I'll add in more videos and probably maybe even a whole module about body tracking or something, and we'll talk about it in there. So my course will continuously be updated. My goal is to just kind of have it be the best course, the best VR course ever out there, like for the next many years, constantly updated. So will I be discussing um, light modeling for basic assets? So that is the one thing that you won't be getting in the course is any design related. Well, maybe I'll like hire someone to come through and do a little module about how to do Blender or some like very basic 3D modeling, making assets, and then like it could really be a one-stop shop course. But me personally, I am not a 3D modeler. I hire 3D modelers or I buy them from the asset store. So I will not be doing any of that. Yes, Apple is also rumored to be working on a VR headset. They've been rumored to be working on a VR headset for many years now, and they're like just very perfectionist. And so I think it's just going to take them a while to get it out. And then it's going to be amazing when it comes out. But Oculus or Meta has the advantage because they have a whole ecosystem already. And so the hard part is not necessarily building the VR headset. The hard part is getting their whole ecosystem and backend software working. And so that's what I'm thinking. It's taking Apple so long is, they've got a really good system. It's very, it's what they want. It's very minimal. You don't have many settings. It's honestly kind of like the Meta software is right now. But they're going to want to have it perfect before they release to anywhere. So that's my opinion why Apple hasn't released a headset yet. Because the hardware is, relatively easy to make at this point. Not like easy for me to make, but easy for companies with billions of dollars to make. So, let's see about the course. Are we going to have course videos before the call on Friday? So my plan is, I filmed yesterday a little bit, and then I'm filming today, and I'm going to send some videos off to my editor, and so when those get back, we will I'll give those to y'all. So that's kind of what my night looks like tonight. But yeah, so this first week I may or may not. It'll be like kind of last minute. It'll be like right before the calls. If I do give you some actual tutorial videos right now, if you join the course right now, there's only like 4 or 5 little kind of intro videos of like, "Hi, welcome to the course" and whatnot. But this week I may or may not give you videos first because I already made some videos. Like the intro videos were like really the videos that I made this week. And so next week will definitely be tutorial videos, and then every week after until the course is done. Or you can ask for a refund and be out if you so desire. Make a You want me to honestly, if this kind of course and YouTube, like, business and all that, like, stuff, my personal brand, as it were, takes off a bunch, I would not be opposed to trying to make some kind of, um, consumer, like, almost open source type headset. That would be sweet. The problem is hardware anything hardware related has very small profit margins. Oculus just recently increased their price because of the recession and everything. Um, but they even before, they weren't making any money off of the headset. They were probably losing money off of the headset. Their goal was to, get to the point where there was just a headset in as many, households as possible. Um, I should purchase Deca gear. And you'd be down to help? Yeah, that would at that point, I will have hired lots of people. Will there be a separate Discord? So this is something that I keep going back and forth on. Um, so part of me wants to make a Discord that anyone who buys the course could join. And then if you refund the course or whatever, you get taken out. That kind of stuff. So it's like a specifically VR Creator Academy course Discord. But my other thought is, well, what if I charge a kind of like a monthly membership fee to be a part of this um, community? And then I have the public Discord, and there's like 5,000 of you in there. um, and so if we if I do like a kind of membership thing for the this new like exclusive kind of I even have a name for it, the VR creator exclusive. Um, for like a private Discord, and it's like a some dollar amount a month. But then in there, everyone in that is a dedicated VR developer and someone who's intent on creating and is there to make connections. So like that's the place you go if you want to make connections and end up getting some people on your team and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning. But then the membership would also um prevent it from getting stale. So everybody who's in there right now is, they're active and they want to be there. So that's kind of my thought process for that. I'm still going back and forth upon it. To doing the course. Yes, so that's kind of on the course. Let's see. Or a set of locked channels, and that may be what I do. I kind of may do like a combo of both. Like these are the one or two channels for the course people, and it's not really much of a place to talk. And then you have a whole extra Discord channel for people who are the exclusive elite. Will there be any VR chat world? I have not actually messed around with creating any VR chat worlds. I do have some fun announcements that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet. Um, I'll come back to you on that. But something that's kind of parallel to VR chat that I may be doing in the future. I can't talk about that much, so I don't want to tease y'all too much. There's a lot of things. So the course is not the only thing that I'm doing at the current present moment. I am also eating blueberries. Um, but I'm working on I have a VR consulting company that I have created with a partner, and we have acquired some assets, and we're working on making some really cool software that will be announced within the next couple weeks. Actually, if you're on the email list, which you can get on the email list by taking the quiz down in the description as well. So if you're not sold on the course, or you are sold on the course, and you kind of want to test your VR developer aptitude, see where you're at as far as game development, coding, and VR skills go, there's a quiz down in the description that will give you a pretty accurate, personally, I think it's a pretty accurate score on where you're at. So it's like 13 questions. It's free. It's, you can do it in less than 60 seconds. Um, how can I be sure that I don't spread myself too thin? Well, I was actually talking to my wife about this. So another thing that you may or may not know, I haven't really publicly announced this yet, but I have a baby on the way. Um, and so part of the reason for the course is to get a little bit of money for like getting into an actual house, because right now we're renting, and it is a very small place, and so we would like to move into a larger place once the baby comes, which will also be around the holidays. Um, so I was talking to my wife about this a little earlier today and yesterday, and just about the workload that is currently because I still work a 9 to 5 as well. So 9 to 5, YouTube channel, a VR consulting company, and then the course now. So lots of things. So my schedule today was booked. It was crazy. Um, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is what you guys get for coming to the live streams because I haven't. I don't think I've announced this yet. Um, Are you and your partner available for hire? Yeah, shoot me an email, at, honestly, any of my emails. Hey at justinpbarnett.com is the public one. So yeah, send me an email if you're looking for more of a larger scale. So if you're going to need at least, 2, maybe 3 developers to work on a project for you, um, with the consulting company, we can source people for you. When am I going to start teaching my baby how to code? That is very soon. I have looked into programming there's like a set of baby books that's like how to teach your baby. Check my time. Like I said, my schedule is quite booked today, so I have an hour or less to hang out with y'all. Um, but the baby the baby programming books are definitely going to be a thing. My wife may or may not throw them away. 'Cause she is not coding, not techie at all. She has a laptop that she hasn't opened in like 6 months. Um, so yeah, yeah, definitely. Like the my child will, and so kind of my goal is my big long term vision. So like right now, I'm kind of wanting to help people who are not really satisfied with their current work, want to transition to a more uh, you know growing industry that's going to absolutely skyrocket here in the next several years. Um, my goal is to help people transition from your boring marketing, accounting, whatever, to becoming a full time VR developer. And so, hence the course and the YouTube channel and everything. So that's kind of my current mission. But then the the last, where was I going with this? Oh yes. So with having the child, and then the next, kind of phase in my life, I am much more looking into VR as an education platform. And so some kind of training. And so honestly, I may end up, you know, creating a VR education company on top of all these things, or one might, have a education company underneath it. To and it's honestly just gonna be me making, education resources for my child to learn off of. But can you imagine, like, you know, in grade school when, your teacher was like, "Hey, we're gonna go talk about the Roman Colosseum." And instead of, looking at these slideshow pictures and having like a really boring professor or teacher like explaining stuff to you, you could snap her fingers. Everybody, like the world melts away, and you're just standing in the middle of the Colosseum. Huge crowd around you, horses running around and everything. And then she like snaps her fingers and says, "All right, your assignment today is to go talk to one of these gladiators. Go find Caesar, talk to him, and then walk around the whole perimeter of the Coliseum. Like that's your assignment for today." And then these little like nav markers pop up, and you can scatter and go do whatever. Can you imagine how like much more you would have learned and understood by that kind of that kind of technology being at your fingertips too? So that's kind of what my long term goal is. Looking at is more of a like VR and education. And the US education system is completely messed up. So if I could, have even just a little bit of an impact in helping get that back on track, I would count myself as blessed. So that's kind of the plan right now. So let me yeah, ask your questions. So we were talking earlier. If you want to rewind, this is recorded and will be posted later. And we're talking about Project Cambria. I'm really excited. I'll probably get like at least one, or probably two, just to play around with. And definitely we'll be adding those specific APIs, especially for the eye tracking and face tracking, because I think that's the only thing that's going to be different to the course as well. So the Oculus integration system section of the course will end up getting updated to the new hardware. Let's see. Would the course be relatable for someone who has no coding experience? So yes. Your background is architectural visualization. Ooh. So, my course is not going to be very artsy. The only art you see will be stuff that I've hired people to do. I am not. I am very much a developer, which means that I can teach development very well. So, the one part of the course. So, if you look at the sales page, is a link in the description in the chat. One of the second module, if you look at it, is C sharp, and it's literally going to be from scratch. We're going to teach you how to do variables, methods, classes, ifs, loops, all the very basic stuff, and then we'll go up and to the point where it's we'll talk about Unity scripting API. So we'll get to the point where it's coroutines and vectors and quaternions and all that more complicated advanced stuff, and then even to Oculus's API, the XR Interaction Toolkit API, all that stuff will definitely get talked about. So the goal is, if you know nothing about coding, you'll be able to take this course. So like the course is going to be a one-stop shop. So you buy it. You're an accountant. You know nothing about game development, nothing about coding. You can transition over and get this course, and by the end of it, you'll be able to make highly optimized multiplayer games and have a portfolio that you can get hired off of, and be able to publish those anywhere. Like so, that's kind of the short version of the goal for this course. Um, Release Project Cambria. It is announced to be released in October. Not specifically Project Cambria. The actual I forget the actual quote, but it was like we're releasing a headset in October. Is what Zuckerberg said. So everybody kind of thinks it's going to be Project Cambria, because that's more or less the easiest headset for them to get out. Is the Quest 1 going to be enough? Yes. There will be some things that you may or may not be able to do, especially kind of performance wise. But you will at least, so I recommend the prerequisites for the course are going to be a computer that can run Unity. And this can even be a Mac. So the Mac has some limitations as far as VR development goes. You can't actually test your project without building an actual version of the game and sending it to your headset. They don't connect. The Quest doesn't talk to Macs, and then Macs also don't talk to any other PC VR headsets, as you would expect. So the Macs will have a little bit. You'll be a little slower on the development process, but as long as you have a computer that can run Unity, you can, and a headset. I highly recommend having a headset. I would not recommend taking this course if you do not have a headset. You're not going to get much out of it. You can the first two modules you can do. The rest of them you will not be able to. So headset, and any idea of the cost of the headset? Yeah, it's at least $800 US. Is what it's been announced to be. What we think the headset that is coming out will be priced at. So how much different will Project Cambria will make? Is it um is it going to be blurrier than other headsets? It's effectively a Quest 2 with better specs, but the cool thing is with tricks, so you always know where the player is looking, and so instead of level of detail based on distance from the player, you could do level of detail based on if I'm looking at thing or not, which is really cool because if I'm standing in this room, for instance, and I'm looking this way, well, one, everything behind me would be occlusion, it would be occluded, and so it wouldn't even actually like exist in the world, the graphics at least. But with this new headset with the eye tracking, so I've got a light here, camera here, monitor, microphone. If I'm looking at the microphone, I can see this light in the peripheral of my vision, but it doesn't need to be high quality, like a super high quality level of detail object. Um, so if I'm like focused on this light and everything in my peripheral vision basically can, drop down to a lower level of detail, which saves on performance, which makes the thing I'm looking at be able to be a very high quality object. So there's gonna be a lot of cool performance stuff too with the level of detail as well. Let's see. Questions. Hello, everybody. Will I be teaching WebXR? Not in this course yet. I would like to. This is something I would definitely like to get to. because the web stuff is definitely going to be a lot more accessible to a lot of people, and then you don't have to go through the whole process of, you know, trying to get it on SideQuest or trying to get it on App Lab or whatever. You just upload it to the internet, and then anyone can play your game. So that's really interesting. You have to highly, highly optimize any web stuff. I would like to get into it. It's probably going to be a separate course down the road. Um, I'm already looking at hiring some people to kind of help me speed this course up a little bit. So I may end up hiring a developer and a designer or two to, since the pre-sale, it's kind of the purpose of the pre-sale is to, get me in a spot where I can, really focus on making the course. So I may end up hiring one or two people to help me speed up the process a little bit and kind of help put the project together and make the designs some cool and maybe make some 3D models to provide to you guys. So it's gonna be a really cool course. The first, I won't promise. Well, I will actually. I will promise you, the first iteration is gonna be the worst. But I will also promise you that the first iteration will not be the only iteration. So the first kind of phase is going to be very quick because I'm going to be trying to get you content because I know you're all going to be asking for content. So um, if you've bought into the course now or you're planning on buying into it, you only have what 1 hour, 1 day, not 1 hour, 1 hour would be crazy. 1 day, 10 less than 10 hours left to actually get the course, and then I turn the sales page off. Words are hard today. Then I turn the sales page off, and you can't even buy it yet. But the idea is, so this first phase is going to be very quick. Try to get you as much content as quickly as possible, and then the second phase is going to be a lot more detailed. And so the first phase I'm thinking is going to be done by the end of this year or early next year. Is kind of when this big project, it's a huge it's a huge course, is going to be complete. But then the next phase is gonna be most of next year, probably like the first half of next year, is y'all will still see the first, phase, but in the background, me and my little team at this point, will be working on the second phase, and then that'll be released hopefully middle of next year, 2023, where it's like literally I'm gonna give you like you get the course, and then people who buy the course after that and people who have bought the course today, will get handed a bunch of really cool assets that we're going to end up using. We'll go through and make a whole entire game. And like it'll be very detailed. I'll have gone through and, really fine tuned it and really, made it feel like we're actually building a game and it's going to be published instead of kind of all those little tutorial videos. And that'll be the main difference between the YouTube channel and the course too. I'm still planning on doing YouTube tutorials. They'll probably be less often now, especially since I'm going to be pretty much burnt out on tutorial content coming going forward. But the YouTube stuff is going to be it's like one-off stuff. So it's like here's how to do this, and we're gonna go from start to finish of like how to do this thing, and then that's it. I'm not going to connect it to anything. We're not going to add it to a game. Like it's one-off things. So all that stuff. I have a couple of games. I have a couple of apps on my itch.io page, so justinpbarnett.itch.io. If you want to play a couple of the Game Jam games. The other games that I've made are enterprise level and under NDA, so I can't actually show you that or let you play them. So any chance of breaking off some parts of the course in the future? Yes, that's another thing that I also have planned is if right now the price for the whole course is a little too expensive, then in the future down the road, so this will be after phase 1 is completed, so after the full like course is completed, I'm thinking that's the way I'm going to do it. Um then I will start releasing the modules to be purchased à la carte. This is a word that y'all told me yesterday. Um, and so, if you already know programming, but you need to learn the XR Interaction Toolkit, you'll be able to just buy the XR Interaction Toolkit part, but then you also won't get the multiplayer, and you'll be able to buy them piecemeal, which will end up being more expensive than just buying the whole course if you buy a bunch of them. So it'll kind of be you'll have to use your best judgment on that. But yes, I will be offering them in the future for a price that is less than the entire course, but it might be about the price that the entire course is right now, maybe a little less. But especially the big modules like the XR Interaction Toolkit and the Oculus integration system, those are going to be gigantic, and so also priced accordingly. So just keep that in mind as well. This is like the lowest best price you're ever going to get in at. Um, and I've already had 200 people sign up, which is mind-boggling. And I appreciate each and every one of you who've signed up. I've gotten a lot of emails. That's like the first thing I ask you to do when you join the course is send me an email, so we can chat and I could get to know you a little bit. I've gotten a bunch. I still need to go through and reply to a bunch of them. So that's kind of that's in my short-term future as well. Um, any chance of a Unity or Unreal certification in the future for y'all? Or doing I have thought about doing some kind of certification, or maybe if I can even get the course accredited, which would be sweet, like go through a some kind of college, and then give y'all some, college credits by taking the course or something like that, like almost like a boot camp. That would be sweet. I'd have to add in like quizzes and stuff, which I'm already planning on adding in some quizzes, but they're very much like gauge your, level of knowledge and let you know if you are going to be needing to skip this lesson because it's going to be boring for you. I am absolutely going to be getting the Project Cambria or whatever this new headset that ends up coming out in October. That's I'm gonna pre-order it if I can. Probably get two. It's gonna be sweet. Pretty much every new headset that comes out, I am absolutely going to be getting. Let's see. Any other questions you'll have? Um, Yep, that's, my main goal is kind of to bring as many people into VR as possible, and so I would love to teach you, how to do it, but it's gonna be a lot, so you'll have to buy the course, so I'm not gonna do it all for free. If you can't afford it, there are the YouTube and there's Unity Learn, but this will be the only course that is complete A to Z. It's gonna be the best course. That's gonna kinda be a reoccurring theme that I keep saying is it's gonna be the best VR course. It's, not gonna be the cheapest, um, and it might not be, exactly what you're looking for, but it's gonna be the best one. It's gonna be the most comprehensive, the most A to Z, the best, most structured content in the shortest amount of time possible, and it's gonna take me several iterations to get there. So this first iteration is gonna be messy, but there'll be a second iteration, there'll be a third iteration. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. And then maybe we'll branch into AR, and I'll do an AR course too. If once that gets a little more popular. AR is kind of in a weird spot where it's not really popular yet. It's hard to. They need to come up with like a good glasses. There's some that are like Magic Leap is getting there, but is there going to be extra credit? Um, Maybe if you write some code for me or help me on a project. Another fun thing is since I have this consulting company on the side, if you do well in the course, it might funnel into a job by me. I might give you a job. So there's also that. Yeah, AR is not popular until, I mean, anything's not popular until it gets made popular. And that's kind of the reason behind, like, I don't have near enough money um, the, as Meta, and so, they're just pushing their headsets for what are effectively costs them money, every headset they, that someone bought. So, I don't have that kind of money to make things popular, but I can teach people how to make content, and if there's more content, then people will come. And so you can help me make VR a lot more popular by adding content. And there's tons of like the industry is ripe for VR content. There's a lot of big companies that are just now starting to like, dip their toe into VR, and they're like, I want to check into this for some marketing. So like all the R&D budgets and everything are a lot is going into VR. And some companies have huge R&D budgets, several $1 million. Um, hey, thanks. I appreciate you. So we were talking about Project Cambria. Now we're kind of talking about the future of VR and how to make it more popular. There will be maybe not subtitles, but there's definitely a transcription that you can download for every single lesson in the course. So I have a really good transcription software that I run every lesson through. It's actually what I run all my YouTube videos through as well. So if you like the YouTube captions, then it's going to be the same thing. Um, yeah. What else? What questions you have about the course, about VR in general, about Project Cambria? Or you just became a member of the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, and you're getting the course. Wow. I thank you. I thanks so much. Um, a translator for the course. Okay, what language? Because that's very broad. Who wants to translate and in what language? Also, another fun thing is if you go into the course, there is an option to book one-on-one calls with me inside the course. I think it's the only place you can book a one-on-one call with me at the moment, um, for like an hour. Um, not audio captions. Well, I would actually be interested in translating the YouTube captions into another language as well. So expect an email from you later on today. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I ask everybody who joins the course to shoot me an email, tell me why you bought the course, what you're looking to get out of it. Help me make it better for you. So I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Let's see. Questions, questions, questions. I'm just knocking them out. I'm answering them quick. Y'all aren't typing fast enough. Will you have lessons on eye tracking? Yes. So right now there are some devices that do eye tracking, and we will maybe not be covering that specifically for the PCVR eye tracking stuff in the first phase at least. But that's the thing about the course; it's ever evolving. It's and you're going to get access. You buy the course now, if I add content that's not like a completely separate, okay, we're gonna talk about WebXR. That'll probably be a separate little module you have to buy on top of the course. But the all the stuff that gets added inside the course, so anything that gets updated in the Oculus integration system, you already have that module, and so anything that gets added to that is just up for grabs for you. So yeah, we've been up here for 45, 46 minutes now, so you can rewind back through the live, and the recording will be posted afterwards as well. So if you missed some stuff, we've talked about Project Cambria, we've talked about the course a lot, we talked about the VR, the future of VR. We talked about the course again. Um, I'm trying not to be salesy, but you guys keep asking me about the course, so I just have to be. It's required. This is going to be my well-being. At what point do you think a developer should upgrade from a Quest 2? Honestly, unless you're making an app for like a company that is using a specific headset, or you're um I would almost say you don't really need to upgrade because like the market share is like 90% Quest 2. And if you want to reach those other, so Valve Index is another popular one, right there. It's kind of covered up right now. Right there. Not that one. It's that one. That's the Valve Index. Um, that was the first VR headset that I ever had. It's like one of those really crappy ones that you put your phone into. Um, but the first video is going to drop tomorrow. The answer is maybe. It might be Friday. Honestly, it might be Friday morning, um, or early next week. So the videos for this week were actually just the intro videos. The actual videos for next week will be all the tutorial videos. I'm trying to get them early for y'all before the call on Friday. But that's another thing I didn't mention that yet. You've probably seen it, hopefully, but you get a weekly call with me, weekly group call with 200 people now. We may end up breaking that up into an early and a late call for the different time zones because that's a lot of people. And I know not everybody will show up to all the calls, but we will definitely be figuring out how to make that the most accessible for everybody. Um, when did I start coding? I was 10 years old. Both my parents are software developers, so I was kind of thrust into the software development from a very early age. I was the kid who, when everybody else was making PowerPoints for their school presentations, I was coding websites. So yeah, I've been doing that for 26 years, or not 26 years. I gave you the answer. I've been coding for 16 years now, and gonna have you figure out how old I am. But let's see. Questions, questions, questions. I have to read and talk at the same time, and I've never been great at multitasking. Um, you keep hearing about big consulting firms getting into. Is mine one of them? I created a consulting firm, so if you have any big VR projects for me that require multiple developers, reach out to me. Send me an email. I might could help with that. I have an itch.io, justinpbarnett.itch.io if you want to play a couple of the games. One of them's very crappy. The other one's pretty decent. What are we going to use for multiplayer in Unity? That is going to be, I'm actually going to cover four. So we're going to talk about Mirror. So there's probably going to be like a section before that that's like, the basics of multiplayer. So this is one whole section inside of the course. So we're probably going to have like a basics of multiplayer, how multiplayer works, concept level type thing. And then we'll go into specifics of each of the four ones that we're going to cover. So we're going to cover Mirror. We're going to cover Photon. I think I said Photon Pun in like the sales copy in places. But I may swap that over to Fusion, which is a more updated, newer version. And then Normcore, which is one that I have actually pretty good experience with, and I like it a lot. It seems pretty easy. And then Unity's native multiplayer. So their netcode stuff or their new multiplayer system that is also coming out. We'll try to keep that updated. But yeah, we're going to cover all of those options just so you can pick, which one we want to use. Most multiplayer options are all very similar, so that's kind of why I'm batching all of them together. Hopefully, it'll just help you decide which one you want to do. Oh, thanks for getting the course and booking a call. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see. Questions. Anything else? I'm gonna have to jump off here in a second. Got more calls, more of y'all to talk to. I think I'm talking to a couple of y'all today, maybe. Um, Definitely a lot of people tomorrow. Definitely a lot of people the next day. Definitely all of you on Friday. Everyone who joined the course gets to jump on a call with me on Friday. It's gonna be ridiculous. I don't know. Um, let's see. Do you think Unity development will be compatible with the next Apple headset? They're going to have to publish an SDK or integrate with OpenXR. That's kind of the answer to that, which they likely will. And it'll likely be buggy at first and not fun to code in. But it will. So they'll get it. When did I start to learn VR? That's probably 3 years ago now? Maybe 4. 2 years professionally, and then 1 or 2 years I was kind of dabbling about before. Um, oh yeah, I definitely want to live stream whenever I get the new headset that comes out. That's gonna be super fun. I want to show y'all what I'm up to. Do you guys like these live streams? Let me know if you want to see more live streams. This is the second one. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. I'll definitely do another one tomorrow if you want to come hang out. I'm going to be live streaming the last 2 hours before. So I'm actually going to be attending Jason Wyman's, what's it called? The game meetup thing, Gather. So if you're on Jason Wyman's email or have watched any of his most recent videos, there's a Gather link. Everybody's going to meet on Thursday night Eastern time. I forget what the time is. Um, and I'm actually doing a talk. So I'm talking about why you should get into VR, the future of VR and whatnot. It'll be a quick, like 15-minute talk. But then afterwards, I'm going to be live streaming the last couple of hours of the course. We'll be, just hanging out, talking, and it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Maybe I'll give a course or two away too. Who knows? But yeah, I'm about out of words. Can I drop the gather link in the meeting chat? Let's see. Let me see if I can find it uber quick. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Yep, here it is. So I am going to be attending that call. Not a call. It's like a video game that you jump in and talk in. It's almost like a VR lobby, but it's like a Pokemon style of game. But I'm gonna be jumping in on that on tomorrow night, and so we're gonna be hanging out. I'll be giving a little talk, and then afterwards we'll see you here. So make sure to come hang out for the end of the pre-sale launch, whatever. So thanks for buying the course. I appreciate you. Will I cover all the difficulties that we can't find from YouTube? So yeah, that's kind of the point, or kind of the idea behind the courses. A to Z, no knowledge in coding, no knowledge in VR development, all the way to, um, you know, being able to be a professional VR developer. That's the goal. And I have 100% money back guarantee. If you jump in the pre-sale, this is kind of like a trust transaction. You're paying me a very small amount of money of what the course will be worth. but it's early and the course doesn't exist yet. Um, in an exchange, I'm giving you a little bit of a safety net there where you can ask for your money back at any point. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to jump off here and jump on some more calls. I've had the busiest week of my life this week, probably. But I thank each and every one of you. If you have bought the course, I am eternally grateful. I am thanking you forever. This is going to be my main source of income for many years down the road. And so every dollar that comes into it is another dollar that's going to be put back into it and make it better. And it'll let me go full time to work on it full time because I still have a 9 to 5 at the moment. So I have to get back into that actually after this. So I will see y'all tomorrow if you come jump in the live stream, and